Hey, what's up? This is Star Wars Fan 100. Just joking, it's Adam and Lindsay. And we are going to be reacting to the new Star Wars trailer. It aired tonight, right?
Yep, Monday Night
During
Football.
Monday Night Football, but we didn't watch it because we wanted to react to it.
It aired like 5 minutes ago, so we're not that late.
Yeah,
but-
also we don't have cable, so.
Yeah, so we just ripped it from YouTube.
Yeah, you know, like everybody else would.
So let's just get to it.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
Interesting.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now. Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
No.
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down. Come on! This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
What the? That's my birthday! Whoa.
So what do you think? What are your first initial thoughts?
Initial reaction was a little bit, and just this is like from my own world and my own like perspective, like a little hard to take Kylo seriously after the undercover boss skit on SNL.
So it looks like he's training with Snoke, Rey's training with Luke, simultaneously, you know. And then it looks like, at least from the trailer, makes it think that there's going to come a time when Kylo can blow up the station that Leia is on. So there's that plot point. Obviously, even in the other movie, they were teasing Kylo and Rey joining together somehow. They've always been like, their narratives have been intertwined or whatever.
My thoughts are like, you kind of see that Luke is like hesitant about training her. Like he's like, oh, this raw
Who do you think he was talking about when he
Well,
said-
definitely Kylo.
Do you think it was Kylo or his dad?
I was thinking Kylo.
At first I was thinking he's seen it before and it was his dad, but then I think you're right, it could be Kylo.
Well, this trailer was kind of centered around a little bit more of Kylo's story, where in the other one he was like
It was centered around Rey's
Rey, a lot about Rey and where she was coming from. So now I feel like we're gonna get almost like a little bit of a Kylo saga. deal.
Yeah, I think no matter where it goes, the two of them are gonna have to
Yeah,
work together, or like
I kind of see how
something's
it's,
gonna happen where they're gonna have to.
I see it as like them coming together. Like, this is not our fight. Like, this was the fight of our like ancestors.
Well, I just think if the whole point is them like bringing balance to the Force again,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's that whole theory of, well, Kylo was like born from like the light side of the Force, and then now seems like he's in the dark side, so he's gonna have to balance it in himself. And then combine that with what Luke was saying from the teaser trailer,
Mm-hmm.
that there really shouldn't be a Jedi
Yeah.
Order anymore. So I thought it was interesting to see Mark Hamill talk,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously he didn't talk. But then when you hear all of like his characters that he does voiceovers for, I'm like, what is his, like, I forgot what his voice sounded like, because it doesn't sound the same as it did 40 years ago.
I was really surprised, on another note, how little Poe and Finn were in this. I mean, I think they're gonna still play like a significant part in the movie, but I was just like surprised that it was like, oh yeah, and here's them.
It seems like they're gonna do something like in the first, it's like the trilogy. In the first movie, they were all together. In the second movie, they're almost doing like a Fellowship of the Ring style thing. So
Yeah.
in the second movie, they're going to be split up into different groups, having to kind of fight the war like simultaneously, but they each have like
different
Rey's
parts.
training with Luke. Finn and Poe are with this, like, the Resistance characters.
Mm-hmm.
Leia looks like she's getting into some trouble. And then obviously Kylo and all the bad guys.
Was that actually her? At one point, it looked a lot like her, and then in another point, do you know?
I don't know. They did say that she completed all of her stuff for this movie, but that they had to rewrite it. So I haven't heard that they did any like graphic rendering like in Rogue One, but who knows?
Yeah.
They made it look like it was her,
Yeah, definitely.
So if it
looked
wasn't
like
her or something, and they're just trying to throw us for a loop, but I'm just gonna go with what they tried to show us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to watch it again?
Sure.
Okay, so that's Kylo. Looks like, I guess. Kind of looks like,
Who's to say?
obviously, Snoke. Snoke is talking.
So this monologue contrasts the second monologue of Luke, and they're both talking about the raw power. That's why I think when Luke's talking about it, he's talking about Kylo.
Yeah, like, it seems like everything is, they're doing that, like, coupling thing that, it's like all over literature. So everything is like mirroring each other, or like rhyming with each other. So the first trailer is like Luke narrating, and then it's like the light side. This is like really dark side oriented. Seems like.
And beyond that, something truly special.
Something.
Someone pointed out, you see this little mark right here on his his hand, sort of like an indentation or like a scar. That's when Return of the Jedi, when he got shot in the hand by Boba Fett.
Oh.
So they're kind of revealing to us that it's the same hand, that he got back when his dad cut his hand off. So he hasn't really, I mean, obviously the skin's like rotted off or whatever, but he hasn't really sought treatment or anything since then. He's kind of just been out by himself.
Inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before.
Contrasting with the opening line.
What opening line? Which one?
Where Snoke is talking about the raw power. You have
Oh,
raw
yeah.
power.
I think they are alluding that it's Kylo because it shows Luke. I've seen it, and then it cuts to like. I assume this is him climbing out. I mean, I don't know, obviously, but it seems like they're trying to make us think it's him after Kylo and the Knights of Ren or whoever like burned down his temple, and he's kind of like, unless somebody else has a robot hand, I don't know.
It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
So, do you think Luke is gonna be like the reluctant Mr.
Yeah.
Miyagi character?
No,
where he's
yeah,
like,
I think he's gonna
is it
totally
gonna be
pull a Yoda.
Is it gonna be like frustrating though? Are we gonna be like, no? Is he gonna be? Do you think that he's gonna just be like too scared for a while? Because I think that will be kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't like. It could either go like
That would be disappointing.
one of two ways. Like he just decides up and like I'm not gonna train you at all, and that's why she goes to Kylo and she's like I need somebody, you know.
Yeah, that's
Or
that's a good point.
or it's gonna be like a total like Yoda moment where it's like, oh, the one you seek, you know.
Yeah, I never. Maybe he doesn't train her, or you know, it repeats itself where Luke never finished his training, you know, because he went off to save his friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, what if she does that because he's kind of
He's like a little reluctant.
he does like the Mr. Miyagi stuff, like you need to paint the fence, and she's like, what does this have to do with anything? And so she goes to Kylo or somebody.
I actually
knows?
think in this one, like this, he's gonna be the bad guy, whereas with like his narrative, it was kind of like, no, Luke, you know, listen to Yoda. I think in this one, it's gonna be like, no, like Rey, just do your own thing. Like if he's gonna be reluctant about it.
That would be partially frustrating, but I think it would also be cool to see Luke be like somewhat embrace like the dark side, because Yoda said, I can't remember the quote, I used to know it, but it said when he went off and didn't finish his training, he said like, if you rush it like your dad did, you will surely fall to the dark side or something like that. And we never actually saw that. They like teased it in Return of the Jedi when he was wearing black clothes and stuff, but obviously that didn't happen. But, so let's watch the rest
Well,
of it.
they definitely like, I don't know.
Let the past die.
What do you think of his little scar, like his band-aid?
I told you it's hard for me to take him seriously.
Kill it. If you have to.
Yeah, it's her.
It's her.
They're like juxtaposing these shots to make it look like he's gonna like have a choice to like shoot her down or something.
That's the only way to become who you were meant to be. We have a spark that'll light the fire.
Oh,
That'll burn the First Order down.
He's got a lightsaber. I didn't notice that.
I think it's not a lightsaber. I don't think. I think it's one of those things that it's like a.
The First Order down.
See that?
Oh, okay.
It's like the thing that he fought the guy. I don't know what it could be. A brand new thing.
This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill.
Okay, so they like went inside a cave kind of thing. Do you think that's something kind of like Luke going into the Dagobah woods and having to?
Yeah, I
Fight
think
himself.
the whole thing is gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Fulfill. Your destiny.
Okay, so Snoke is obviously right there in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Rey and Snoke meet up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when she goes to try and find Kylo. And now he's got her in that, whatever that is.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
What do you think of these little dog things?
Yeah, that was weird.
They look almost, they kind of remind me of like the Tauntauns on Hoth.
Yeah, like a tauntaun mixed with like a never-ending stories kind of looking creature.
Yeah. So it looks like Kylo's watching something get manufactured. He actually kind of looks like Luke.
Yeah, that's what I actually in the opening like thought, oh, it's Luke, but
What's he like watching?
like Return of the Jedi Luke when he's,
It looks like a droid. You see, there's like a droid walking in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe it's a flashback to Luke. Him grabbing the lightsaber, and there's these two guards here that are probably training him or something.
That like red, like really almost like a radiating red with the contrast of the black is like such a popular look right now in like film and art.
I think this is the first time in any of the Star Wars movies or TV shows or whatever that we've actually ever, if they are books, if like, it's kind of hard to tell, but you get a better look at them from the last trailer. But if those things are actual books, it's the first time we ever see anything on paper in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, really?
Everything is like holograph or like a little,
Oh, yeah.
computerized,
Mhm.
even going back to the older or to the prequels.
Where are you seeing a book?
This is like a little shelf, and these are books. And remember when Rey in the other trailer, she like puts her hand on one of them?
See, because this to me looks like roots.
Yeah.
And it's that like tree thing. we were
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
think this could be inside that tree.
Yeah.
It's Luke's like, it's like, I think it's some,
The forest.
they're like
tree.
Luke's books of, we're obviously going to find out, but some people said maybe they were like Obi-Wan's journal from when he was in the desert for a while, or maybe they're books written by like when he went and found the last temple or was looking for it. They're like old Jedi
Mm-hmm.
like theology textbooks. But anyway, I thought that was interesting because it's like actual like a hard copy book,
Mm-hmm.
and you never see anything like that. What else? I think that's pretty much it.
I don't know. It kind of feels like an episode 3,
What do you mean?
Like if you look at the other sagas, it's like it feels like a typical 3 rather than like a 2, Like if you look at Clone Wars and that sort of, there's like, this feels more like we're seeing like origin stories again, but then like the deep hate come and take form, and I just don't know where they go from there. So they get together in the end of the movie or whatever. Where do you go from there?
I think they're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger, probably, where, if I had to guess now, I would say maybe they're gonna get to a point where Rey's gonna have to choose light side or dark side. At least the way they're setting it up for us to believe right now. Because comes a point where she's gonna have to at least side with Kylo somehow. So there's gonna be a moment where it's gonna end abruptly, I think. I don't know if they're gonna necessarily blow up a Death Star and then it's gonna have like kind of a resolution. I think it's gonna end like abruptly somehow, like kind of unresolved.
Mm-hmm.
See Snoke's face up close? Looks pretty much how we would expect.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy to see that he doesn't look, I mean, it's obviously a close-up, but he doesn't look like large, you know, like the hologram thing.
Here's a question. They're making a lot of like hands in this one. Obviously, Luke's hands have gotten lots of like screen time and close-ups. Do you think Kylo? We've only ever seen him in gloves.
I was about to say that.
Do you think he has some kind of roboticness?
I was thinking that just the same thing. Like there was a lot of emphasis on the whole hand thing, which that's like a Star Wars classic. But yeah, we've only ever seen him with gloves, and I think that would be a good like twist.
Wouldn't it be like, you know how he idolized Darth Vader growing up as a kid? Wouldn't it be sad if you found out he idolized him so much that he cut off his own hands? It would fit his emo vibe, you know?
I hope that's not it. I hope that's not what happens.
Well, I guess that's it for this. Do you have anything else to say? Anything you noticed from the trailer?
Yeah, Star Wars comes out on my birthday, and I'm excited.
I'm excited too.